would die first and why? And who would be the hero?
Suddenly, black ink exploded everywhere.
Then when I heard the door chime, someone had walked in. I grabbed my phone's flashlight and saw a man standing at the back, just staring.
She claimed it had sparked, made her hair smell, and then broke the bathroom mirror.
Welcome back to CX Insider Podcast, and welcome to our Halloween special. Woo! It's a bit different today, as you can tell. We are doing a Halloween special today and reading some scary tales, which are going to get your skin crawling. I'm your host, Tamil, and I'm joined by my co-host, Greg.
Hello.
Or Spider-Man.
Yep.
I'm joined by a scary Dr. Craig.
Hello.
And I'm joined by Dobby, aka Dan. Anyway, so we're gonna read some scary tales and rank them and give our thoughts. So, should we just hop right into it?
Let's do it.
My precious. Yep. Right, so before we start, we're gonna play a little game or ask a little question. If we were in a horror film, everyone in this room, who would die first and why? And who would be the hero?
Oh, that's a hard one.
Yeah. Let's hear it.
Okay, I'll go first.
Yeah, go on, Craig.
I've got a bit of an issue here. Someone's done this, and I know who it was. It was in my sleep, and it was Adam. He's not here today, so he is the one going first for causing this pain.
Okay.
Because you'll push him to the front.
Exactly that.
Okay, yeah.
Okay. Adam's going first.
My theory on this is who's the slowest runner? Because I've always bet on if you... Maybe Dobby.
I was going to say, the guy that runs all the time.
Well, I always thought, right, in these situations, it's not about like who's the bravest, who's not. It's just who's the slowest runner is going to get caught first.
But you could be a really fast runner and then trip over.
Yeah, that
and
is
die.
true.
You could. Yeah,
I've seen the boots you're wearing, so you've got no chance.
Yeah,
That's unlaced as well.
Yeah.
Dobby's got
Martin.
big Doc Martens on, so I think
it depends upon the genre, because we haven't specified whether it's a slasher or a psychological horror or any of
Guys,
that. Guys,
caveat before we go any further. We do have a Halloween horror story enthusiast in the room with us. We have a specialist. We always have specialists on the channel. And we have I forgot to mention it, my bad. We do have a specialist today. Dan does some serious ghost busting, so
I do.
He knows what he's talking about. So maybe he won't die first, because he kind of knows what's going on. Like he would know like what to do. I would honestly say I would probably survive. I don't know who would die first, but I'd probably survive, because I feel like you guys are like curious. You'd be like, oh, what's going on? I'm like out of it. Like I'm not staying around to like see what's happening or what's that noise. The second I hear like a creak, I'm out. I would say probably Craig would be out first, because he just like wants to chat to the monster.
Yeah.
He'd be like, oh, how are you?
I'm like someone new here. Yeah, that's a good point.
Yeah.
To be fair, I'd be filming it, so I might stay until the end, because I would be the one making the film to begin with. So like they would need me to film it in order for the film to progress. So I guess I'm safe, right?
Yeah.
Right. Should we get into some stories? Let's see. And so basically, to explain the rules of the game, we're going to read the story, talk about it a bit, and then rank it from a scale of 1 to 5, how scary it is.
5 being super scary.
5 being super
1
scary.
being
1 being...
Teletubbies.
Yeah.
Okay.
Let me try read it in my scariest voice possible. It was a quiet Tuesday morning. A customer stormed into the store, holding a small cupboard box. She slammed it onto the counter and demanded a refund. I asked her...
Why are you stroking your hand?
My precious. I asked for a receipt, which she proudly handed over. And then I opened the box. It was completely empty, nothing. Not even the product's plastic wrap. I explained as calmly as I could that there was nothing inside. She looked at me dead in the eye and said, "That's how I bought it." I told her that it was impossible, because all products were sealed before leaving the warehouse. She insisted the factory must have forgotten to put the product inside. When I tried to explain store policy, she called the manager, who, bless him, actually gave her the refund, just to end the argument. The best part, 5 minutes later, another customer came in with the same product, and guess what? It was missing its box entirely. Do you think that she's just being a Karen and just wanted a refund?
I think they're acting for attention, aren't they?
Do you think so?
Yeah, I think they're playing it up here.
Where's the proof of receipt in this situation?
It's gotta be.
Did the original one have a proof of receipt?
She said she brought a receipt.
She did.
Yeah. So what would you do if you were the sales associate at that point?
You have to try and stay calm, wouldn't you, really? I don't know whether I'd laugh. Would you laugh in that situation? I'm not really sure.
I always laugh.
It's just like, come on.
Depends how much it's worth and all that sort of stuff, doesn't it? Like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Depends on the
Do you know
product.
what-
What was the product?
And also,
Most-
no, they didn't specify.
say,
And
okay.
also, I don't know, like if it was something for like £5, I'll be like, get your
Yeah.
refund. Like,
Just,
Yeah.
I need
just
to
to-
go home.
yeah.
Like, I have a life. I need to go home as well. And also, which brings
Yeah.
me to my next question. Do you guys think the customer is always right?
No.
I think I heard this good story the other day, and it was the idea that when a customer has a request, even if you can't fulfill that request, this is a really good insight. Even if you can't fulfill that request, aka like emptying the till, a really good sign of great customer experience is just knowing that people care. And you can have the same outcome, but you can actually do it in two different ways. So if someone says, I'd like to, the story I heard was, I'd like to upgrade my ticket. And this, I think Simon Sinek actually talked about this. He said, the customer called, said, I'd like to upgrade my ticket. The member of staff may know that just based on your ticket, you can't upgrade to. It's basically a done conversation at that point. There's nothing you can do, regardless, even the CEO gets involved, ticket can't be upgraded. He said, there's two scenarios. One is you just say to the customer, sorry, can't be done. And that's the end of it. That person then walks away thinking, I don't really like that brand because they didn't try, they didn't care. Even if they maybe care, but they didn't show any sign of caring. So the outcome is still no upgrade. The other scenario is where you show the customer you try. So let me speak to my manager. Let me just go and see what I can do. Let me just double check your ticket. Just let me absolutely make sure. And if you try and you show that you've tried, even if the outcome is the same, you just say, I'm really sorry, like I really wanted to better help you this time, but I really can't, like we're constrained. Next time when you book a ticket, just make sure you book this type, it will give you that flexibility. So the outcome's the same, but actually the sentiment the customer has to the brand or the business is different. And I think, I know what you mean, like about, the fact is, the customer is, they're not always correct or they're not always right, but my question is like, does that matter? Like in that situation, you're a brand, you're trying to represent and create a positive outcome for the customer. And I think you can always do that for the customer. If they're being difficult for the sake of being difficult, that's a different scenario. But if you're talking about a scenario where customers being reasonable, I think you can probably always work a scenario within reason that customer goes away happy and business stays happy. And even if the business has to lose a little bit, like, sorry, we didn't realise we didn't pack that thing in the box, fine, just give them another one.
Yeah.
And then hopefully that comes back to be future business for you because they spread the good word.
And also, I think it's like the art of saying no politely. Like, I really wish I could do this for you. I hear you.
Yeah.
This is so horrible, but I can't, I think.
Really good point. And quite commonly what you see in customer service scenarios is if the customer challenges the member of staff, it's really difficult, but you must try and remember that as the member of staff, they're not actually challenging you, they're challenging the business.
If you guys have ever worked in some sort of shop or anything, had to refund something ridiculous?
I might have told this story on the podcast a long time ago, and it's a perfectly justifiable refund. I was probably about 17, and then one of my first jobs was a restaurant / bar and all that, and I was serving food to a table, and this lady came in for, I think it was like her 90th birthday, and I was taking champagne, 4 flutes of champagne over to the table.
And they dropped?
And I dropped all 4 on the lady's head.
Oh, God. Oh, that's a reasonable refund.
I'm pretty sure we didn't charge her. So,
yeah,
100% refund. And I think we paid for the dinner as well, because
Yeah.
I don't think she planned on having champagne on her head. On a
Did
90
any
birthday.
land in her mouth?
No, it's mainly in her head. Like I say, it's not quite a refund because we never charged them in the first place, but that was... Okay, my story is the overnight shift that wouldn't end. I once worked the overnight shift at a 24-hour convenience store. It was meant to be quiet, just me, some late night snacks and a few drunks grabbing crisps. Around 1 a.m, the power flickered and went out. The security cameras went black and the fridge alarms started blaring. And I was standing there in the dark with only the glow of the cigarette display. I called my manager, no answer. Thanks, manager. Always there to support. I called again, straight to voicemail. I couldn't leave because we were technically open. Then when I heard the door chime, someone had walked in. I grabbed my phone's flashlight and saw a man standing at the back, just staring. Okay, this is creepy. He didn't say a word. After about 30 seconds, the most awkward silence, he turned around and left. Power came back on an hour later. The CCTV rebooted, and that's when I realised something's worse. The door had never actually opened. The chime had gone off, but there was no one on the camera.
Oh gosh.
Okay, that is. How would you rank this? Just initially on scary scale. How would you
that's got to
rank
be
it?
up there, isn't it?
I'd give that
I
a
mean,
4, yeah.
If that was you in that scenario,
I would probably hand in my
probably be
notice
up
the
there.
next day.
Yeah, I'd be up there with a 5 out of 5.
Yeah,
That's,
5 out of 5.
That's not.
Super scary.
No one wants to be in that situation. do
Night
they?
shift as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, if you're on your own on a
Yeah.
night shift.
I think Dan would like it.
Yeah, take them on.
Yeah, to be fair, oh hell yeah! I get my camera out, and be like,
Yeah.
yeah. It's all relative though, isn't it? You know.
Yeah.
Like I got some spooky stories to be honest about some of the places that I've worked in. I've worked in a haunted hotel, and I worked in care during the height.
Sorry. You worked in a haunted hotel.
In a haunted hotel, yes.
Are those real things? What?
Oh,
Are they
there's
real
loads of
things?
haunted hotels. Yeah,
Really?
there's loads.
Yeah.
Was it
Yes.
one where they advertised the fact that it's haunted and people therefore
No.
stay, or not? It was
Oh,
No,
just
it
haunted.
was,
So
uh,
you knew.
You
it was
just
haunted.
knew it was
Yeah,
haunted.
there were so
Sense
many
it.
guests like saying stories that you were
Right.
just like, okay, this place is haunted.
Okay.
Oh gosh.
Um,
Anyway, last question about this was it a ghost or was it just a glitch?
Lack of camera evidence is
It's kind of creepy.
is the bit that
yeah.
freaks me out, because it's one thing people's like relaying of the story, but can't rely on people necessarily. But cameras
Cameras.
always scares
Could be
me
a ghost.
Scares me a little bit.
Which, do you guys believe in ghosts? Do you think they're lurking around with us right now?
hell yeah, probably not here.
The refund ritual.
The customer came in demanding a refund on a hairdryer that she said had ruined her life. She claimed it had sparked, made her hair smell, and then broke the bathroom mirror.
Oh.
Strange. She brought the box duct taped shut, had started crying loud at the counter, saying it almost electrocuted her cat. Everyone in line was staring, as I'm sure you would be if you're in that situation. My colleague stayed calm, offered to replace it instead, but she refused. She wanted a full cash refund and compensation for her emotional trauma. After 50 minutes of drama, my manager gave in and refunded her. 2 days later, we checked the system and realised she'd already been refunded the week before. She literally pulled the same stunt twice. Same story, same fake tears,
Wow.
just different staff.
Wow.
There we go.
She's in the wrong career.
To
She should
be
have been acting.
Food
Yeah.
for thought. Yeah, that's a lot. Like,
To
how
be
much
fair-
is that item worth?
Right? Like, hairdryers are not cheap. I don't think so.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true.
To be fair, I think the staff handled that pretty well.
Mm.
In my opinion, they could have. Because also, when you like work in rotations like shifts, you don't know like what's happened the shift before last week.
Yeah.
So they had no idea of knowing this woman's already come in. But
What else can you do?
Yeah, what else
No,
can
I
you
think
do?
It's funny.
maybe try and take them to one side rather than making the scene in the
Like,
whole place, you
but
know?
also it could be
Tears.
on the
Yeah.
manager, because obviously
Yeah.
the manager would have to come last. You probably just forgot about her, because I'm pretty sure it's just one manager for the whole store, probably.
It's difficult in these
Depends how big the store is,
fast-paced
yeah.
environments
Yeah.
because, customer volumes is a massive factor. If you've got
Yeah.
high customer volume, where you're serving 50, 100 plus customers a day, you're just never going to remember. And
That's true.
unfortunately, there's always a bad egg out there, effectively, and
Just wants to get-
they've got their agenda and they're trying to expose a bit of a loophole. And I don't think you're ever going to really stop them. You just do what you can, and you move
Like-
on and focus on the customers that
Yeah.
actually need your help. They're actually there for good intentions, but the bad eggs are always there, aren't they, unfortunately?
So in terms of like gratifying the customers you're on about earlier, to retain brand loyalty, what would you say would be like, like obviously there's a process in place of having the receipt, having proof of purchase at least, or having some kind of like identifier or whatever, or
Yeah.
like standard of return as well, because it said it was duct taped up. Did they open the box? Did they check the products? Like, how far do you think they should go to, like negate that issue of like someone
Yeah.
being
Yeah.
traumatized at the
Do you
thing?
call her out at the time and say,
Yeah.
hang on a minute?
It's a good point. But there's a common like practice in like customer service that I've come across whereby what you do is you add layers to me it's just add layers to these things. Not too many layers where it becomes like you're obviously just not believing the customer. But the challenging with the layers, proof of this, proof of receipt, tell us the story. Can you write it down, for example? Write down the story and we'll take it. Every layer you add, people will like subconsciously question how far they're willing to take a lie, basically.
Right, yeah.
And it's a really good tactic because if you have genuine intentions, you're happy to write it down, tell whoever, or speak to a manager or whatever, but you add 2 or 3 layers to these things and most people fold after 1 or 2 layers because people generally, if I had this smart idea about I'm going to get a free hairdryer wherever it is, they might do it once. This lady's obviously got a career in it, so fair play to her. But most people will basically, their confidence will drop after being challenged 1 or 2 times. And it's quite a proven method to get people to catch out basically the people that are maybe trying to pull wool over your eyes like once or twice. So you ask them to do it 2 or 3 times, like, can you show me proof of receipt? Can you write it down? Can you also tell my manager? And then it might get to the manager and they'll be like, oh, don't worry about it, I'll just keep the hairdryer and then just run out the store.
But
so
also,
I think that works.
Like, do you guys actually go through refunds? Or is it just too much of a hassle?
Yeah.
Depending on the situation,
100%.
doesn't it, really?
Yeah. Because the other day I ordered, foolishly, a shoe rack off Shein, and obviously it didn't come with the correct parts. I was trying to assemble it and I was really proud to do it by myself and it didn't have the right parts. And then I was like, oh, I have to send it back and get my refund, and it's just sitting in my house.
How much was it?
Like £2.
Well, there you go.
Yeah, to be fair, I guess there is a cap,
You write that off, don't you?
But refunds in customer experience is a really big thing, depending on what sector you're in. If you're in fashion and clothing, in the pandemic, you saw a huge rise in organisations offering almost free refunds.
At a point, Amazon would just give you a refund without even any question.
And it was because the new level of expectation got set that everything is bought online, therefore everything needs to be sort of free refund, easy refund. Some of that stayed, some of it went after COVID, we saw. But what's interesting is for certain brands, like I said, you're always going to get the occasional bad eggs that are going to expose the loopholes. But 99.9% of the time, you're actually doing that for the right customers, and actually creates a really good thing because people are more likely to buy if they know it's easy to return.
Yeah.
Especially things like clothing, because obviously you want to try it on, doesn't quite look what I thought, or the size is not quite right. If you make that barrier to return goods too high, people won't buy in the first place.
Yeah.
That's pretty well known and proven.
I guess that's the trade-off, though, isn't it, between the positive friction that you're on about beforehand? Is where is that limit and where's the threshold? And I guess it varies by industry and product. And
put it in a quantifiable term. If you've got 100 customers that return goods, let's say one is disingenuine, they say it didn't arrive and it did arrive, and you have to send them a new jumper for 50 quid or whatever it is. If you satisfy the other 99 customers in that list of 100, they're going to buy more, they're probably going to keep, then they're going to order more the next time. It's going to come back to you long term. It's hard to accept and to write off that loss from a business standpoint, but I think it's a perfectly justifiable strategy that you're going to have to accept on some level. There's a small percentage of stuff that gets taken out of shop.
How scary was that? Scale of 1 to 5? I would say a 3. It wasn't that scary. She was just more irritating than anything.
Yeah, I think she played it up really, wasn't she?
The fact that mirror cracked is
if
that was true, maybe.
And
maybe
wait, did she say it ruined her relationship?
Ruined her life.
Ruined her life.
It ruined her life, she said.
Yeah.
the scariest thing is
The scariest thing is her story.
Yeah.
If her story's true, then maybe a fool. But yeah.
I think too, because her acting skills are on point. And that's pretty scary within itself. She
That's true.
could have capitalized on that in some other context.
I also really feel bad for our audio listeners. They can't really see what's happening.
Head to YouTube.
Head to YouTube.
You'll see the full thing.
Yeah, you get to see Spider-Man in his full glory.
Yep.
Employee horror story.
Number 4.
The printer from hell.
Dun, dun,
Dun, dun, dun. Office printers are true villains of corporate life.
Yep.
Ours was ancient, big, noisy, and always out of ink. One day, during an urgent client presentation, it jammed. We pulled out the paper tray, nothing. We opened the side panel. Suddenly, black ink exploded everywhere.
Oh, wow.
My coworker tried to fix it with a paperclip. That's when the machine started smoking. Actual smoke. Someone shouted to unplug it, but the plug was stuck behind the cabinet. We ended up wheeling the whole thing out into the hallway, covered in toner, while the fire alarm went off. IT finally replaced it with the exact same model. Poof.
Gosh.
That is flop.
It's a good IT strategy. Switch it off, switch it back on. Just
Works most
replace it with the same one.
Yeah,
Pretty
but to get
standard.
the same model,
I know,
printer,
that is-
that's,
Do you
that's
know?
nuts.
And
Classic.
honestly, at that point in the workday, you probably are already frustrated because you've had a lot of work to do and other
Yes.
stuff to deal with, and then the printer just like blows up in your face. I would just go home.
In the middle of the meeting
And-
as well.
Oh, in the middle of the meeting as well.
Yeah,
That's
yeah,
crazy.
no, yeah, there's a
You'd
meeting
have to think
involved,
on your
yeah.
feet and try
Yeah.
and make it part of the pitch. Of,
Like,
the
oh,
pitch is
the pictures.
an ink-covered model walks across the stage and like, yeah.
No, Greg is always like on call giving like pictures or something. And
Yeah.
what would you even do? Like,
Well, not that, hopefully.
not that.
But you got to think on your feet though. In
Yeah.
situations like,
Yeah.
obviously that is a disastrous situation.
That is a
but
disaster.
everyone listens and watches. You're in meetings, whether you're presenting internally or presenting. You got to think on your feet in these things. I don't
Yeah.
know what I'd do. If I was covered head to toe in ink. I think I would go home.
Yeah. So how do you deal with small issues that like snowball?
Stop panicking.
Yeah.
I think like panicking makes it way like 100 times worse. But then you just stop, you take a minute and you go, okay,
Yeah.
analyze the situation, let's solve it, move
Like
on.
jump back into reality for a
Yeah,
second.
you
Yeah.
know.
And you guys like deal with like clients quite a lot. And sometimes a small issue can like escalate and escalate and escalate. So what would you
I guess the strategy I find, if I find like myself as part of that, escalation, and it's sort of getting out of perspective in my mind, my approach is to always go and ask someone else basically who's not
Yeah.
involved in it at all. That's always a strategy I've always had. If I'm in a bit of a situation, you're sort of almost flapping where like you don't quite know what to do, you
Yeah.
don't know how this started, you don't know how it's getting worse. Getting some outsider's perspective, I've always found to be pretty useful.
Yeah.
Because normally they just go, you're really overthinking this. You just
Yeah.
need to go back and do this.
Yeah.
And actually, those people, if you've got some like mentors or whatever, that's always a good person to ask. Because in that
Level
situation,
heads.
they'll normally
Yeah.
see through the mist and
Yeah.
they'll just tell you, you're just overthinking it. You need to do this. And you're like, oh, of course. And
Yeah.
it just self-solves like really quickly.
Yeah.
I've always taken that approach.
Yeah.
Not scary or anything, but
Yeah. Because
That's,
sometimes like
that's
when you're
what
in
I
the
do.
thick of it, you can't see a way out. You're like
Yes.
That's
No,
it.
you
yeah.
flap.
You just need someone
Yeah.
from outside to be like, actually, it's not that crazy. Like, just. Also, I just wanted to say, like, sometimes, and maybe to, like, anyone who's watching, like, sometimes you have to remember what I've seen with, like, all of these stories is that the person who's serving you or the person behind the desk is a human being. They're not, like, an automated robot or just that there with, like, an automated script to answer all your questions. Well, they probably have a script of some sort. But, like, half the time, it's a human who also just woke up in the morning, probably had a terrible night's sleep, missed breakfast, and is just having a day and is at work. And so when you come like to the desk and you have your problems as well, it's your problem, but also you're talking to a human being who's also had a day. And so sometimes you can just be like, you know what, like this is my issue. I don't need to come yelling and screaming and saying, oh, I've ruined my life and I need a refund. Just be like, oh, here's my broken hairdryer.
yeah.
Can I get a refund? And if they can't, you can't.
Comes across a lot more genuine, doesn't
Yeah,
it?
yeah.
You're more likely to get a refund, I think, if you're coming across more genuine
Just
rather than flapping.
genuine and calm and like
Yeah.
who's gonna want to like serve you if you're like off your
Yeah.
rails, like relax.
I feel as though what's underrated
Yeah.
in like customer service settings is just like honesty and transparency.
Yeah,
It's just like not taught or ingrained as much as I think it should be. There's sometimes you meet individuals in that situation and they're not being transparent with you about the process they need to go through. And often that would do you wonders whether you're on the customer side or the customer service side. Just being honest, like, look, I'm not quite sure how to solve this right now, but let me go and speak to someone. Let me
Yeah.
try this. Let me search. Let me do this. I think that often comes across really well. And that's just being about like
yeah,
honest and transparent about what I do know, what I don't know, what I can
And
do,
how I
can't
can
do.
help, yeah.
And that does help. And,
Yeah.
and I think customers respect it because, like you say, people are people. So
yeah. So how scary was that story? Scale of 1 to 10. The printer from hell. It would ruin my day. Not scary, but just irritating. Irritating
Well-
scale 5. Scary scale 2.
If you're in the middle of a meeting, it might be fairly scary.
Yeah.
But yeah, it depends how big the meeting.
Yeah.
Like, if
Yeah.
it's like, proper
If you're pitching the
transformative
meeting,
stuff.
probably
not
I'd say
good.
probably about 3 for me.
Yeah,
could
3.
be.
Greg.
Yeah.
yeah, probably 2 or 3, I'd say for me. It's not
Yeah.
that scary, just very annoying. if
Very
you-
annoying.
Yeah.
It's not
Probably ruin the day
supernatural,
and the
but, yeah.
pitch.
Yeah.
Oh no, but do you know what would be scary? If it's like $1 million deal that's gonna happen. And
Yeah,
you
that's
have
what
to-
I'm saying. Yeah.
yeah.
It could be like.
Well, that's a wrap of our Halloween episode. I hope you guys had fun watching that. I had lots of fun filming, as I think everyone else did.
Yeah, brilliant.
Anyway, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and comment some of your scary CX stories. See you next time on the CX Insider Podcast.